plane have simply vanished.
The rapture has arrived on Earth, taking all the believers up to heaven and leaving everyone else below to fend for themselves. That's the driving plotline behind Left Behind, a new evangelical film with an unlikely star. Nick Cage, he plays a pilot who is withdrawn emotionally and physically from his devout wife and his children. While on a routine transatlantic flight, the rapture hits, sending the remaining crew and passengers into a panic. It's weird to see the star of darker films like Bad Lieutenant, Leaving Las Vegas, and the recent Joe in a low-budget pseudo-Hallmark movie.
Chris, let me in! Chris!
No offense to Hallmark movies, my mom loves them, but this Oscar winner, he deserves better than this.
I know you all want answers, and believe me, so do I, and I'll do my best to get them.
This film sports some pretty low-end production values, from the green screen work to the cheap CG special effects of planes crashing and landing, and all the sets here, which are supposed to stand in for landmarks around New York City, well, they look like anywhere else other than New York City.
Irene knew this was coming, the way it happened. How could she know that?
On top of that, the film features some terrible screenwriting. The screenwriters here, they treat it almost like a mystery, with the characters slowly unraveling the mystery behind their loved one's disappearance. Now, we as the audience going in already know exactly what happened, so it really isn't all that exciting to see these characters slowly pick away at the clues left behind. And these clues are not subtle. We're talking one of the characters that disappears, they look through her date book, and on the date book it literally says Bible study in giant letters, and that is the clue that she got called up to heaven. It's subtlety like that, or the lack of subtlety, that just makes you want to just pull your hair out while watching this. But the worst offense that this film commits is the fact that there isn't really any payoff. We have the rapture, which in itself is a very interesting concept and leads to a couple interesting moments with the characters, but then the film transitions into this airplane disaster story.
I have no spoilers, no flaps, no elevators, and if I run this thing dry, no reverse thrust. I need some room.
A very generic airplane disaster story where Nick Cage has to land a plane with very little fuel, and he doesn't have a good runway to land on. It's not really all that tense or exciting, and at the same time they're trying to unravel this mystery which we've already solved. And so by the end of it, we're kind of left with nothing, almost like it's opening up itself for another chapter, another sequel, which after this first film, I'm not so sure I really want to see.
Took them to protect them from the darkest time in the history of this world.
So in the end, it doesn't really matter whether you're a devout follower of the Holy Bible or an atheist. This is a bad movie regardless. It doesn't really have a very good mystery. It's pretty sad to see Nick Cage in something this boring and low budget, and frankly it just plods along, making you want to pull your hair out, and I don't really have much of that left. So definitely don't waste your money or your time. There isn't any fun to be had with Left Behind. But those are just my thoughts. I'd love to hear yours. You can hit me up on Twitter, John_Airy. I'm John at the movies.